able to record. Holla for a dollar. Okay. So I'm gonna get started because it's 8:02 and it's on time. What was I saying? Oh, yes. So I want to kind of start with some announcements. I didn't make graphics because I don't have time. So sorry, guys, no graphics. But we do have some announcements. Obviously, we are starting. Some of us are, and I'm just going to say this here, but some of us are kind of fading out of MM100, and some of us are kind of feeling like, okay, kind of tired of it and kind of super ready for the work. But I really encourage you guys to finish MM100 out, finish it out. You are not a quitter. You don't start something and just quit it. So finish out MM100 and then start the work if you want to do the work. If you don't want to do the work, totally fine, totally cool, but start another program and maybe start a boot camp for that program that you want to do. The work, it comes out on Monday, so the 30th. There's no school, I'm pretty sure. I know there's no school. I'm a substitute. No school, no work. I mean, wait, some people have work. Wait, do you have to work, Chelsea? Oh, okay. Sorry, I don't because it's
I work Christmas Eve. I'm always at work.
So yeah, no, well, if you're a teacher, no work. So get prepared for that launch. Talk about it, share it, all the things, right? We are starting our challenge group for that on the 7th. So that's why I'm telling you guys, like, go out, talk about it, and share it and all the things. There are a ton, like, you guys, I'm pretty sure it's like 100 days till the new year. You need to level the fuck up. Also, like, you guys, I don't know where your faces are, but get your faces on here. Like, I want to see that you're actually interacting on this call and, like, paying attention and, like, taking your business seriously. I'm calling all of you out, like, right now, because this is a business. This is time for, it's okay. I don't care if you're eating. I don't care if you're cleaning. I don't care if you're, I don't know, whatever you're doing, but let's take it like this is a meeting. We're all coming together, okay? So, hi, thank you, Ashley, thank you, Emily, thank you, Megan. So yeah, sorry, you guys, I'm sorry, I'm gonna be really honest with you guys. And maybe this is something that you guys need to hear, maybe, I don't know, but if you're coming on these calls and you're posting in the groups and you're saying all of the things that you want to do, you really want this business, but you're scared, you just don't know, and this ties into Chelsea's team call, just so you know, like Chelsea's topic that we're going to talk about. Half naked, it's okay. We want to see you, Cass. That's so funny. Cass. Hey, I've been there, girl. I've literally been on Zoom. Like, I've worked out and, like, forgotten I'm on Zoom and, like, took my robe off because I went to change from the shower. So I've been there. But you guys are showing up, but, like, you guys, there's 100 days to the new year. There is so much possibility for you guys to really level up. And, like, I don't know what your why is. I don't know if you wake up every single day and you are just dying to work your business. Like, you go to work and you're just like, oh, I just want to get home so I can send my invites and, like, invite people to this opportunity and invite girls to my boot camp because I love this so much. I really want to pay it forward. That is the mindset that you should have. And if you don't, then I really want you guys to just not do anything and really dive deep into your why and dive deep into why you're coaching. Why are you here? No one is going to relate to what you're doing. And I just told Jamie this because we just got off on a one-on-one, but no one is going to relate to what you do. They're going to relate to why you do it. Okay. So do we hear that? Not what you do. They know that you work out. Oh, cool. You do those workouts, but they don't know why because you're not sharing that. Right. So I really want you guys to just really level up. And I mean, like, level up, like, I want you guys to kind of give yourself, like, a bitch slap and be like, yo, girl, like, wake up. This is my business. I need this for my family. I need this for me. I can no longer live like this. I can no longer keep doing this with myself and just keep on giving myself excuses on why I can't be a CEO of my, why I can't be a CEO. Because when it comes down to it, I think that the word CEO, like, literally scares people. and intimidates them. And I don't think it should be, because if you're struggling with like words and like, you know, like you're struggling with like having the fear and feeling intimidated about money or being a CEO and wanting to like feel like whatever, you should read You Are a Badass at Making Money. Amazing book, and will really open your eyes. But you guys, this is a business. I told Jamie this too. Emma and we didn't give you an application and tell you to fill it out and interview with us. You decided to sign up as a coach, to work a business, to share, inspire, make someone laugh, make someone want this, help women change their life with how you got started, and paying it forward, right? You decided that, not me, not Emma. So that's why I'm saying, like, you have to now decide whether you want to walk or if you want to run. Who the heck is calling me right now? Don't they know I have a team call? So, and if you're in that 1% group that we've been talking about for the past 2 weeks now, I can actually already tell who has already leveled up from that group. And let me tell you something, coming from someone that hates push groups. I hate them because I literally feel like it's weird, guys. I'm literally the type of person where I hate push groups because I feel like there's so much and I just can't catch up. I understand. I get that. But I had to take that mindset and be like, you can catch up. You can wake up an hour earlier to listen to the lives and apply it to your business. And guess what? Chelsea's done it. Jamie's done it. Emily's done it. I think she's in that group. Yeah, I've seen Cassie in that group. I've seen Crystal. I've seen Megan. You really have to just take it away and be like, okay, like, yeah, I hate push groups, but maybe that's why I should be in the push group, right? So and I can, like, Jamie and Chelsea, which I'm just speaking for my coaches, like Jamie and Chelsea have already told me that group has helped them so much, and I can tell. So, which is why I asked Chelsea to speak on tonight's team call, is because, number one, Chelsea has been a coach, which is really weird. I would love to share this story really quick and then we can dive deep. Chelsea actually started following Emma. Started following Emma because her coach was another coach that was on Emma's team, and she quit, and like it was like whatever. Everyone has a different story of how they got started. So Chelsea actually quit as a coach and then started following me from Emma's page, and it was literally a clusterfuck. Started following me, and it was so funny because like I've been watching this girl, and I was like, wow, she's so cute, but like I was a new coach. Like I didn't know like really like what inviting was, or like I did, but like I wasn't doing it. So she reached out to me and was like, hey, like you're totally my vibe. Like I've been a coach before, and I really want to be on your team, and blah, blah. Well, here we are almost 2 years later, and Chelsea is still just now leveling up, and she's been on and off as a coach for 5 years almost, right? A little bit. Yeah, for 5 years. And she's just now realizing like her why, and realizing like that she can do this and her potential as a coach, and started to think like a CEO and not an employee, because I didn't hire her. Okay, so let's dive deep into the Q&A. You're gonna see me touch it, Ashley, so because I have the questions. So the first question is obviously a little bit about yourself and how long you've been a coach and what your full-time job is, because that's also super important.
Cool. Hey guys. So I am 26 and I am currently living in Virginia, right outside of DC, but I'm originally from Philly. So I moved here last year for my boyfriend's job. He also works in sales. I know we don't like to say that we work in sales, but we do. He works in sales. I'm actually formerly a musical theater person. I went to school for musical theater, performed full-time for about 3 years doing it. Like Gabby said, I've been a coach for about 5 years now, and I did take a break at one point, which I'm going to talk more about later. But my full-time job, I work for a company called Cranial Technologies. So we work with babies that have misshapen heads. So if you see babies walking around with like helmets on, I know Gabby's nephew had one, which is also crazy. So that's what I do. I'm a baby imaging specialist. I do all their digital imaging. I do all the front desk stuff. Part of my why, I'm running an office and I'm not getting paid for it. So I'm basically like the boss and not getting recognized for my work. So, which also ties into my why later. But that's just a little bit about me and my everyday life.
I mean, she has a really cool job, but like she said, she wasn't getting paid for it. So what does the day in a life of Chelsea look like as a coach? I would say like now, like what does it look like?
Yeah. So my days are very straightforward. I'm a very regimented person, especially during the week. The latest I wake up during the week now is 5. I am on Zoom every morning by 5:05 with Gabby. My times at work alternate each week. I either have to be in at 7 or I have to be in at 7:30. So on my earlier days, I'm on Zoom by like 4:45. Literally, she'll text me every morning at 4:45. I wake up, and the first thing I do is I don't even check my phone for social media or anything work related. I sit down at my desk and I do my morning routine. My mornings are devoted to me, which has been really helpful. I get ready for work. I come home. I immediately do a brain dump of everything that I had been thinking about all day that I want to catch up on at night. I brain dump everything on a notepad. I work out, and then the rest of my night is spent doing work or team calls. And that has been consistent every single day for the last 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm. And I can totally tell. Like, and that was 2 weeks ago when we started the 1% group. The 1%, yeah. Yeah, you guys, Chelsea and I, every morning we decided like, okay, I'm just going to throw this in here really quick, but we decided like we had a talk about like really leveling up and being like, okay, like we're both sick and tired of just like cruising through coaching and cruising through and like doing all the things. Like we have to like change it up, like really start to like act and be a business owner, because that's what we are. Like we gotta just stop this nonsense of just like cruising by and thinking it's okay, right? It's not okay. So we decided, okay, like what will it take? Waking up an hour earlier. Like, you guys, I'm literally always tired. Like, this is Maybelline. I wasn't born with it, okay? You know, like, sorry, but that's what it takes, you know? Like, I'm not saying, like, only get 2 hours of sleep every night, but change your schedule up. Like, do I want to wake up at 4:40 every morning and like text Chelsea and like hope that she says yes to waking up and like hoping that she says like, no, I'm going to sleep in today? But no, we hold each other accountable. So if that's something that you want to do, find someone that you can, or if you want that, text us and I'll add you to the 4:40 a.m. chat, like whatever. And you can hop on Zoom with us in the morning. We usually hop on around like 5:15. But we get work done, and some days I work out in the morning, sometimes she does. We do our affirmations. Those are non-negotiables. We both write down our affirmations. Like we have our 5-minute meditation or 3-minute meditation, and we set our intention for the whole day, because guess what? That is going to make me a better coach and Chelsea a better coach when we set our affirmations and set our intentions for the rest of the day and say, yeah, I am a rock star recruiter. I am going to invite like a boss. Okay. So writing all of those affirmations out, I just told Jamie like to have 5 solid affirmations of I am, and repeat those to you every single morning. Get a journal and write them every single morning. Okay. So yeah,
just want to see that. I feel like I've purposely put that on my story every single morning as an accountability. And I was having a conversation today with our bicycle bar guy from Indianapolis when we were at Summit. We were talking on Instagram and he commented about me posting every morning. It's like people see it, and I guarantee you the one day that I don't do it, which isn't going to happen, but if it happens, the one day I don't do it, somebody's going to say something. I can guarantee it.
Oh yeah, like me. I'll be like, yo, but but it's so true, you guys. And not only that, but it's also I have like setting my hair, showing people, okay, like maybe future coaches that will join your team, what it takes to run a business, right? You can't just post and like be like, oh, it's so fun and rainbows and butterflies. No, you have to post, yo, I'm waking up at 4:40 a.m. and I'm a baby grandma and I go to bed now at like 9 or 10. So I wish I could go to bed at 9 because I'm literally like snoozing. I had to take a 30-minute power nap today. But that's what it takes, right? Like you can't just, because no one's going to want to join you. And if they do join you and they sign up, they're going to be like, wow, this is not what I thought this was. Like, I thought that you just like post on your social media and like, that's it. Like and then they quit, right? You have to show people what it actually takes to be a coach. Okay. And run a business. So I love that. I love that. Okay. So when did you get your personal development in? And when you made this a non-negotiable, how did you see change?
Okay. I get my personal development in, and only I get my personal development in when I'm driving to and from work. It's not that I don't have time to sit down and read. You always have time for anything. You just have to make time for it. I choose not to make time to sit down and read because A, it makes me very sleepy. And if I come home or if like I read right before bed, I'm not going to get anything in. So my work drive, I live right outside of DC. Traffic is awful. It's at least 30 minutes every single day. So I always do it to and from work. And I think that having personal development be my sandwich for my work day has really helped my mindset shift in a way that it has me going into work in a good mood, knowing that I'm going somewhere that I really don't want to be. And then no matter what kind of day I had, I'm listening to my personal development on the way home from work. And that is setting me up to be the best version of myself for when I go home and start work for my side gig, which has been extremely helpful because, and I talk about this later, how my schedule shifted. I would come home, and if I wasn't listening to personal development, I'd be in such a terrible mood. And how am I supposed to help somebody if I'm in a bad mood? And I get it. We all have like bad mood days. Like it happens, but how can I help somebody else to be their best version of themselves if I'm also not being my best version of myself? And even my boyfriend, like my boyfriend's name is Eric. I'll just use his name instead of saying my boyfriend. When I first started doing this like coaching thing and I was starting to post more a lot, all I was saying was, I'm so tired. I'm just really exhausted. I'm going to try and do this. And he literally truth bombed me. He was like, stop being so negative and saying that you're tired. He's like, you're trying to influence people. You need to be positive. He's like, yeah, of course there's going to be days that you're tired, but you need to show how you're going to overcome that. It's like, wow, you are right. So that's what I like to call my personal development sandwich for my work. So that's when I get it in.
Yeah.
Personal development. That is.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't really back up, Gabby. I used to listen to the radio like crazy. I used to listen to Y100 and like, you guys, I don't know if you know, if you live in Florida, you know what it is, but it's Y100. And it's like the funniest like morning show, whatever. And so I was like, what am I doing? This is just like BS in my ear. And like when I could be getting my personal development in. And so on your way to work, like Chelsea said, I write down my top 5. So in the morning, I already know what I'm going to listen to. So like if I didn't listen to the National Wake Up Call on Monday because I work at a school, so at 11, my time, I can't listen to the National Wake Up Call. I'm teaching. So I will put on my way home, I will listen to the National Wake Up Call, a non-negotiable, or I will catch up on a live from one of the 1% groups and I'll catch up. Right. But normally I'm like, I need to like write stuff down. But yes, on your way home, that's when you guys should get it in. And personal development, like Chelsea said, and Jamie also said this to me, it's made her a better person. I'm sure it's made Chelsea a better girlfriend. And it makes you a better friend overall and really sets the intention. Like, if you're not listening to personal development, then how are you, like, you're not filling your cup, right? And if you don't fill your cup, then how are you going to like fill other people's cup, right? So you always have to make sure that your cup is filled so that it pours over to your coaches, to your clients, to your challengers, whatever, right? So it's super important. If you're not a personal development person, I get it. I hated reading. I scored the lowest on my Florida State test. Like, I hate reading. And I'm like, snooze, bye. So I get it. But listen to the Audible. find something that works, that you want to listen to, that you are like, oh my God, I need to go listen to it. And it doesn't always have to be a book, although I recommend listening to a book. It could be a YouTube team call that you looked up, or on the Beachbody Champions page. If you're not on that, you need to be on that, because there's so many lives and so many team calls on that page, and so many videos or trainings that will help you in Beachbody Live. So many trainings. So I'm just saying, whatever. Anyway. Okay. What are some behaviors and tasks that you are,
you skipped.
I did. Sorry. Okay. Sorry. When does your Beachbody work occur, and when are your working hours in Power Pockets? Because working hours are very important. You just can't say, oh, you know what I mean? I don't want Chelsea to work when she's working, all the time, and then get fired from her job. So when are your working hours for Beachbody?
Yeah. So I do a bunch of mini Power Pockets throughout my day, because I can't work while I'm at work. I'm 100% on during work. So I will do a mini Power Pocket in the morning if I have time within my morning routine and getting ready and cooking, all those things. I will do a mini Power Pocket during my lunch break. Gabby thinks I'm so weird, but I'm going to talk about it because I don't care. I do a mini Power Pocket right when I get home from work, and I sit on the toilet every day when I get home from work for about 15 to 20 minutes, and that is my time to myself. And I sit on my phone and I have a Power Pocket. I kid you not, every single day. I told Gabby today, if Eric beats me home to work, he'll call me and be like, all right, I'll make sure I'm out of the bathroom by the time you get home. No joke, non-negotiable. Toilet time is my favorite Power Pocket of the day.
You need to share that, hashtag toilet time.
I'm going to start it. Just take pictures of my feet while I'm sitting on the toilet with a squatty potty. And then after that, I will work out. And then after dinner and everything, that is when I will sit down on my laptop, and I will probably work for about an hour and a half. That's my longest time frame that I'll do. So I do a bunch of mini Power Pockets in one sit down work sesh.
Yeah, I love it. And what, I might talk about this, but I'm going to add in here, what is what do you do in those Power Pockets, I guess?
Yeah. So the ones during the day where it's smaller, I will plan what kind of posts I'm going to be doing. I'll plan my CTAs, and I usually don't do my CTAs, which are call to actions, and my Instagram posts until I get home later on in the day. But I'll kind of brainstorm what I'm going to do throughout the day. I'll send invites if I have time. I just recorded some videos that I can just send out, and expanding my network, which is super, super easy. I can just search some new people to find, add them, send them a quick message. I don't really like to respond to any ongoing messages that I have throughout the day. I like to wait till I get home and I have time to think about what I'm going to say. Because if I'm at work and I'm doing a Power Pocket, I don't want to be rushed in a response that I'm sending to someone. So I do more planning Power Pockets throughout my day. And when I sit down, that's when I do my posts. I work on graphics. I will expand my network, and I will continue conversations.
Yeah, that's so important, you guys. And Alexis, I think that we both kind of learned this from Alexis, because I can say that I did it, and I would be so eager to answer messages and just wanting to refresh my DMs, and I would waste so much time and so much negative energy, oh, why is no one messaging me? What, leave it alone. Send your 10 to 20 invites, and do not touch your inbox until later that night, when you have time to sit down and respond to people. Okay? Because if you're doing it I don't know, when you're at work and you don't really have time, and someone's in your ear, or your kids are trying to talk to you about their homework, and then you're not being an intentional mom either, because you're halfway trying to run a business and halfway trying to be a mom. So have intention, right? So make sure that you're doing it maybe waking up a little bit 30 minutes before work, send your 10 to 20 invites, and then after work, after the kids are down, and maybe after dinner or whatever, and then you can respond to those messages. Having a flow and going with it will really help you create a routine, because if not, you're going to feel so burnt out, and you're going to be half a mom and half a business owner, and you're going to feel super, super, super burnt out. Okay. I'm not a mom, so I can't really relate to your schedule. I'm just saying, like, if that was me, that's what I would do. But also, I'm not a mom, so I don't really know what I would do. But yeah, anyway. Okay. Next one. Let's see what our other question was. Okay, what are some of the behaviors, tasks? Okay, we already did that, obviously. How many hours do you devote to Beachbody each day, not including your workout, just the vitals?
I feel like if I had to add them all together, it probably would be around like 2 to 3. And that's just because my power pockets are really small. And I try to be strict with when I go to bed. But honestly, like when you're thinking about it all day, even though I'm not working when I'm working, I'm thinking about it still. And that kind of feels like I am working the whole day. And even with my current mindset right now, I feel like there's not enough hours in the day for me to be a part-time coach because I want to do all of the things, but I can't financially quit my full-time job yet. So right now I just feel like there's not enough hours in the day for me to be a part-time coach, but probably about like 2 to 3 hours per day.
Yeah, it doesn't take much, guys. It
But
really
I
doesn't.
want more.
I know, right? Hey, listen, I had more and I went to subbing because I'm just like, I feel like I was like lost. I'm like, what do I do all day? But okay. So what do you do you work in power pockets, dedicate time to sit down and work your business? I think we kind of went over there, but
Yeah. I didn't dedicate a sit down time until like the last 2 weeks.
mhm.
It was always power pockets and that didn't really get me anywhere. So um for me, if you have like bigger goals and dreams, I would say incorporate both. And that it doesn't have to be long. Like I told you, an hour, hour and a half. But that on top of your power pockets, it makes a difference.
And like how long, like when you're sending your invites and you already kind of know what you're saying, like, okay, well, I don't know if I put this in here, but what do your invites look like? Are you doing like text invites, voice memo, or video?
So I haven't sent a video one yet, but I'm doing voice and text. It depends on how the conversation is. If I feel like I'm making like a really different level connection and I'm more comfortable with a voice, that's fine. But when I text it, it's usually to people that I know. And they'll be like, they wouldn't appreciate me sending them a voice. And you just kind of have to know who you're talking to. But even just with expanding my network, I will send the same message. Like my first message to somebody, I could probably show you, but I will say like, hey girl, I was just scrolling on Instagram. I found your page. Your page is so cute. I love your vibe. And then I'll just make it personal about something that I saw on their page.
Mm-hmm.
So it can be very generic for everybody. You could just like find one little thing to make it more personalized.
Yeah. And I love that because then you're creating a conversation and maybe it'll go back and forth. And if it doesn't, totally cool. Come back and you date them and come back, watch their story, watch like their post again, comment on it, interacting from the National Wake Up Call. What was it? It was comments, compliments, and question. So CCQ, comment, compliment, question. So when you're engaging with people, this is in one post, leave a comment, compliment them, and ask a question. And this is how you create engagement and like new followers and people to like click that follow button and want to follow you. And I love that. Yeah. Okay, so what type of tracking system do you use to keep track of your customers and coaches? Why do you love it and what works for you? And also, what did you do before versus now that in the 2 weeks when you started to like level up? So like, because I think it's really important for them to realize like what you were doing when you were like kind of just like tiptoeing and versus now when you're like, yes, this is my business.
So before I wasn't doing, I have a really good memory. So I just kept it in my DMs, my emails, and I was able to keep track of my brain. But in the last 2 weeks that I've been expanding, I've been having notes on my phone, which I know Alexis does as well. I have 2 different lists: girls I want to invite to coaching, girls I just want to invite in general, not to coaching. But I just set up Google Streak, and I'm really excited to use that. I can't say or give an opinion on it just yet, but I'm really excited to use it, and I'm very type A, and I'm getting to the point just in 2 weeks. like just in my DMs, like I can't keep track of this. Just in 2 weeks, literally 2 weeks, I can't keep track. I'm like, what was this girl's name that I talked to? What were we even talking about? So like literally my job tonight is going through my Google streak and getting it all organized. So I can report back on that one.
Yeah. And you guys, I can say that I have a love-hate relationship with Google Streak. And I'm just now finally like, and that's actually one of my things to do tonight is to like update it, because it is, you guys, you send these 10 to 20 invites every morning, and then it's like, okay, you lose track of them, like you don't know how to track them. So I literally make it a non-negotiable, and it's like I have a top 5 that I do in the morning, like my brain dump, and then I have a top 5 that I do at night. So any people that I invite like during the day or in the morning, at night I will add them into my streak. And all I will do is do like, it's like in my streak, like people I invited, and I'll do their name and their Instagram handle and like what I did, like first invite, like there's a little note section. So I do like first invite, right? And so then if they respond to me, right, so they're in my Google Streak, if they respond to me, I can then go into my Google Streak and leave a note and be like, we chatted about nutrition, she sent me her goals, waiting on reply, right? And then I go back and I look at all the people that I invited, kind of like, and I actually don't really do this unless I start a conversation. And again, I'm very paper and pen, and like I'm pretty sure Chelsea is too.
That's what Cassie's talking about right now, actually, which sounds really cool. Look, I want to look into that.
Put me on not gallery, on like speaker view. Do you see this? And then the yellow people are the people that I sent an invite to, and this is just today. Okay, like okay, back and front and back, right? You also, and Chelsea's so funny. She's like, wait, you use the tracker? I guess I don't talk about it much. I use the tracker, the business activity tracker that Beachbody has for us. Okay, look, you guys, proof that I use it. Okay, I use it. And on the other side, they have a list. So I just printed this, and I went to like Kinko's or FedEx, and I printed it, and they put this on here for me. And so I bring this with me to work, and I get in a power hour or a power pocket during planning. And I should have just wrote all this on here. It would have been so much easier to have it in one space. But use the tracker. This is something that Beachbody implemented to help you. You're like, okay, I don't know what to do during a power pocket or power pocket. It says it right here, literally right here.
And so know that one page is for 1 week. It's not one day, for 1 week. So it's super simple.
And all you do is 1 week, obviously. So I bring this with me everywhere because you never know. And it gives you time limit. So like 30 minutes. And so I will set a timer on my phone and be like, so then you're then intentional. You're not scrolling. You're not doing anything. And I'm like, okay, 30 minutes, get people results, contribute to my challenge group, recognize achievement, respond to questions and customers and coaches. Then when I do that, I can check it off. Honestly, I get that done in less than 30 minutes. So then I can move on to the next one. An hour and 40 minutes, connect, invite, follow up. Okay. Sometimes I don't even need that long either, because you really don't need that long. But using the tracker, finding a system that works for you. I really want you, like, you guys, if you're not using a tracker, like you should be. I was trying to find the other one, but whatever. But I love that. Are you using the tracker, Chelsea? Are you starting to?
Right here. Yep.
Yay!
I also use Alexis's Power Hour at least once a week, and she hosts that sometimes, and she'll invite us to it. So I have those printed out too.
That's what I was trying to find. It's in the community creators page, but whatever. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so what are your top 3 non-negotiables that you do daily that you know will actually move your business towards your goals?
So
go ahead.
Okay, my first one is my me time, which is my morning routine and focusing on my goals and putting myself first. And Beachbody preaches this all the time. You can't fill another cup from an empty cup. We have to fill ourselves first and take care of ourselves first, which is like what I was talking about with personal development, and that falls into there too. We need to be the best version of ourselves to help other people be the best version of themselves. And then right now, my other top 2 non-negotiables are expanding my networks. That means just going through Instagram and finding new people to connect with. That does not mean inviting. That just means literally expanding my network, finding more people to talk to. And then my third one is inviting. So especially the last two, those are things that are going to help move my business, because nobody's going to join you if you don't invite them. So, and you have to find more people every day. Even this week, I found myself getting so excited about one girl, but I woke up the next morning, I was like, that was yesterday. I'll continue with her. I need to find more girls that I'm excited about. And this is another non-negotiable that actually, I mean, it probably does, but it doesn't really have anything to do with my business. One is spending my time with Eric every night when he's home. He travels a lot. But every single night for dinner, we put our phones down and we talk about our days and we catch up on one TV show together. I'm very lucky that I have somebody who's supportive, and I don't want to lose that. So make sure as much time as we're putting into our businesses that you focus on the person who's there supporting you and who loves you, because that's really important as well. And make sure they know how much you enjoy this and that they're respectful of your time. Every night after dinner, it's like, all right, well, I'm going to listen to this call. You can do your work as well. And we sit there, literally last night, we both had our earbuds in and we're on a call and we're just holding hands on the couch. It's really important. It's important. And I just think that's like, just to have just a little bit of time away from your business. You have to have that time as well too. So
I agree with that so much. When I was married, that was like our time. It was actually every like Sunday night, I'd get on a call and I would say we would cook dinner, and then I would get on the team call. And after the team call, I would close everything, and we would then go watch one show together. And that was our time to like not touch our phones and just be together. And that time was like super important to us, because of course, like she said, like you have someone that supports you in your business, so you don't want to lose that. Okay, take it from someone like me. I love that. And I was gonna say something and I forgot what it was. Putting yourself first. Oh, inviting. What do you think was holding you back before that what scared you about inviting? Like why do you think you weren't inviting and doing those vital behaviors, and like that, like what switched for you, I guess? Do you know what I mean?
no, for sure. And honestly, it's because I wasn't building my business. So it's like, what am I inviting this person to? Like, cool, I'll invite you to join Gabby's group, but if I'm not leading you, even if it's not my challenge group, who am I to invite somebody to join my business if I don't have a business? Mm-hmm. That's how I looked at it. And even though I have 0 coaches right now, I'm literally a coach, I still have, in my mind, I have a business because I'm working at it every single day and I'm working on building it. It's not going to happen overnight. But that's really what held me back, because I feel like I didn't really have anything to invite them to.
Mm-hmm. And it's like you don't have anything to invite them to because you're not working a business. You know, you have that business mindset. So if you're like, oh, I don't have anything to invite them to, like that's Emma's boot camp. Well, make your own. Do you guys see me in Emma's boot camp? Like, no. I created my own boot camp. I'm glitchy. Oh gosh. Am I glitchy? Oh. Okay, wait, let me I'm gonna let her talk, but
I wanted to catch you before it completely went out.
Sorry, it's my internet. Let's just go to the next one because whatever. So what do you struggle with and how do you overcome it, and while not letting it hold you back?
So 2 things. I still feel like internally I struggle with people quitting. I had a girl quit this week, and I've come a long way since when a person first quit, and now it fuels me. But still, when you see that email, it's like, man, like this really sucks. Like this sucks. And I was actually talking to Emma about it earlier this week. She brought up a really good point that I quit a couple years ago, and I'm here and I'm back, and timing is everything. So don't give up on the people that quit. Follow up with them. I mean, Emma was telling me that a girl quit and then 2 days later she was wanting to join again. We don't want anybody to think that they're just like a sale for us. So following up with them and saying, I saw that you canceled your business or your discount, your VIP membership, but I'm still here for you if you ever want to come back, and I'm always here for your goals and things like that. So that's what I've struggled with and how I'm trying to overcome it. And the other thing is that I'm still really working on overcoming is showing up on hard days, like in my stories. Like if there's a day where Eric and I are arguing and I don't feel comfortable like being all happy and goofy on Instagram, I'm still really struggling and I just find myself not being present at all. So if anybody else has tips for that, or if you've ever been in that situation, please let me know, because that's what I'm currently struggling with.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I can give you a tip because hi, hashtag divorced. And you guys know that I had really hard days, like days where I did not want to get out of bed. I just shared this in my in a post actually. And that is something that you could make as a post. Of course, you know, talking to your significant other about it first and just sharing like, you guys, like for example, like you guys, you know, I'm super open, I'm super vulnerable, I'm super transparent, but not every day is rainbows and butterflies. I'm still human. I'm still a girlfriend. I still have arguments with my boyfriend all the time. We don't agree on everything. And so not every day I want to show up and be my goofy self. Sometimes I just want to sit in bed and argue with my boyfriend about stupid shit, right? And just relating to people, because you're not perfect, right? And then you're relating with other girlfriends and relating with other people and being like, oh yeah, like totally, but you get through it, and maybe giving them tips on how you communicate in a relationship to get over those fights and those struggles. So it's really just, instead of like thinking like, well, I don't really want to share my personal life with my boyfriend and like my husband because like whatever, but like kind of having a different mindset and like kind of switch it where you're not sharing all the juicy drama, but you're sharing like the personal, like the struggle almost. Does that make any sense? You kind of get where I'm coming from? Because of course, like I wasn't on here like my husband, blah, 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 is a post-drug addict and alcoholic. Like I'm not going to put that on social media, right? Of course, I just told you guys that, but you guys wouldn't have known that, like, because I'm not going to post it on social media. If someone personally messages me and says, hey, I'm struggling with this, I saw you were divorced, blah, blah, then maybe I would, right? But every day, I did not want to show up every day. Like, I wanted to cry and sit in bed, but I still showed up and I said, hey, guys, I had a really shitty day today. Like, today's just one of those days, and I think I'm just going to kind of, like, be here, like, maybe, like, not posting my face, maybe posting like inspirational quotes, doing like some polls, maybe like, I don't know, something that you can like post still to show that you're there and not have nothing at all, right? Or use those days to post a call to action and do like where you don't have to show up physically in your face and you're just posting a call to action, right? So a call to action could literally be like 10 stories, which is so much better than 0 stories, right? So you're not actually showing your face and you're whatever. Do you get what I'm saying? Well, honestly, we're just going to go with it. I hope that was helpful. Okay, so what changed in your mindset when you decided to go all in and really step up and show up consistently?
To be 100% honest, it was deciding to be a part of this group on Facebook. It's called Owning Your Biz and Being 1%. When Gabby told me about it and told me that we could like apply to be into it because you had to answer a few questions, it was 3 weeks long. I literally, the thought went through my head. I remember I was sitting on my couch right there and I said, it's 3 weeks. What do I have to lose? Why can't I just go all in for 3 weeks and then just see how I like it? I went all in. And I even wrote down, I don't know what I said. But if we if we don't walk the walk, then we can't talk the talk. So if I'm not going all in, then I can't, you know what I'm saying? I immersed myself in as much as I possibly could. I decided to get on team calls, like about 2 to 4 team calls a week, which has become a non-negotiable as well. And just trying to learn as much as I can and just doing it. Like no excuses, just doing it. And I promised that to myself for 3 weeks. And like Rachel Hollis says, she never breaks a promise to herself. So I decided to go all in for 3 weeks, and now I'm all in for good.
I'm sorry. I just love that because if you think about it, how does it make you feel when someone breaks a promise to you? I feel like this is me like teaching like kindergartners. But how does it make you feel when someone breaks a promise to you? I can tell you it's really a shitty feeling because I have guys who I go on dates with all the time and they break their promises. So, you know, that's so true. It's like, don't break a promise to yourself. Set a promise, like I promise to give at least 3 weeks, like Chelsea said. At least 3 weeks. What do I have to lose? Non-negotiable, getting on team calls, listening to the national wake-up call, immersing yourself into it. Like really just having that mindset of having a business, okay? Because you do have a business. And look what happened. Chelsea immersed. She's literally doing all of the things. And she's being intentional. She's waking up early. I don't have to tell her twice. Like everything that not for nothing, like I don't want to cry, but like not for nothing, like she has literally made me realize like the type of people I want on my team. And so getting super intentional on who you want on your team and setting that as a non-negotiable, like I'm not here to mentor girls who just want to post on social media and think that they, you know, are gonna be flying in the money and like living financially free and being able to have those moments with their kids. Like, no, if you want to do the work, I will mentor you and we will do it together, right? And so also, like if you have big goals, then you need to be intentional and recruit and be intentional on who you want on your team, right? Like I'm all here for it. Like if you guys want to do this as a hobby, I get it. Like I'm here for it, like totally. But I'm not going to mentor you to be a hobby coach. I'm going to mentor you to be a full-time boss ass businesswoman CEO, because making six figures, living financially free, being able to pay off debt, being able to go on vacations like on a spur of a moment, being able to leave your job that you hate, maybe you love your job but you just really want to like be able to work from home and be with your kids, whatever your why is, right? That's who I want to mentor. So like don't get it twisted, you guys, like that, or like, hey, listen, you think I'm like super bitchy? Totally get it, but that's just my vibe. Like Chelsea knows, like, okay, I know that Gabby, like, we did a one-on-one, and guess what she asked me? So funny, you guys, so funny. She's like, what do you need from me? And I'm like, what? Or you said something like that. What did you say? Or what do you expect from me?
Oh, I said, what are your goals for
Yeah.
me?
And I was totally taken back by that. But she was like, what are your goals for me? And I'm just like, I don't know. I'm like, I just want you to want it as bad as I want it for you. Or I just, I want you to want, yeah, what I said, right? Because I do see the potential in every single one of you. There's nothing that says like, oh, Ashley can't do this or Megan can't do this because A, B, and C. No, like you can do this. Like you just have to want it just as bad as I want it, okay? And I'm not going to do the work for you. I say it all the time, you guys. So, you know, and having those non-negotiables, like I tell my parents all the time, don't like my team calls are now going to Thursdays, so we can't do family dinner or do anything because that's my time with my girls, like non-negotiable. And they will go out to dinner and bring me food home. So yeah, anyway. Okay, so if you have an absolutely crazy day and you knew you can only get one thing done, what would it be?
So I feel like this answer could change depending on where you're at in your business. But right now, mine would be expanding my network. I can wait one day to invite because I need to expand my network to have people to invite. So right now, that is what's most important to me. In 2 weeks, that probably will change. And that's fine. Like those things probably should change. My number one will be inviting because my network is going to be so expanded from all of my hard work that I'll just have all these people to invite. But I was on a call today and Colleen Curtis, you should go follow her on Instagram, was talking about you should have this list. She was going to like send her graphic, but basically it's called like, I don't know where it went, but like your top 10 or something like that. You should always have 10 people in your quote unquote pipeline. That's like my sales term because Eric says that. You should have like 10 people that you can always fall back on to invite. So like that list. So I'm going to work on building that. But my answer is expanding my network, which is actually really fun too.
It's so fun.
Yeah.
I absolutely love it. 100%. And I think that's really important because they're like, oh, I already invited everyone in my network. Yeah, well, that's because, like, did you add more people? Did you, like, are you expanding your network, like Chelsea said? So it's so true. Like, you can go one day not inviting, of course, or maybe invite like 2 or 3, whatever. It's not a big deal. But expanding your network is super important, especially as a new coach, especially as someone who is trying to really like level up. You always want to get new eyes. You always want to get new people watching your Instagram stories. And if you do, when you are expanding your network, make sure that you, again, in your 12 square, have a before and after picture, and it shows like who you are as a person, because that's what's going to make them want to click follow, right? So imagine like if you are like looking at a blogger or whoever, and what makes you click the follow button? You know what I mean? So yes, I love it. I love it. I love that answer actually. Because most people's answer right away is always just like inviting. And I'm like, yeah, but why? Like, I don't know. This is for me. But if I've already expanded and I've like done a ton of expanding like one day and I was super busy like tomorrow and like I didn't invite today, then I would invite tomorrow, and that would be like my one non-negotiable. So like Chelsea said, it just really depends on your schedule and your whatever you got done.
To answer your question, Megan, no, I don't use a program, but in part of the power hour that I have from Alexis, that I do it probably like once or twice a week, I'll go through people that I'm following and choose some people to unfollow. Like she has something called 100 follow, unfollow. I don't do 100, but I will go through and be like, this person's not, it's like that thing on Netflix, I forget what it's called, but this person's not bringing me joy in my life. I'm going to unfollow them. If I'm like, why the heck am I following this person? So I'll do that like once or twice a week and kind of just like filter it out.
Mm-hmm. You guys, it sucks, but I've unfollowed a lot of people. It sucks, but I always use running a business, and I'm gonna say this because it's really hard, but running a business, you're gonna go through a lot of changes in a lot of seasons. It sucks, but I'm really not. You'll see who your real friends are. You'll see who, like, people who are really supportive, or people that will try and tear you down because they're jealous or whatever. They just don't get it. I've unfollowed a lot of people, and it's been really hard for me. But ever since that, I've been starting to unfollow people that are just not advancing my life in the way that I see it. I gotta unfollow them, because if it doesn't matter in 5 days, 5 weeks, or 5 years, it's not for me. Like, I'm moving forward. Like, I can't keep living this life that my high school friends are still living, of going out and drinking and doing all of those things. I don't want to follow those type of people, right? I want to follow the type of people that are like influencing, or like moms, and like just trying to like live each day, like just trying to get it all together, right? Like not doing all of those things. So that just goes hand in hand. Okay. So do you have it all together all the time? How did your schedule transform with the addition of coaching?
Do I have it together all the time? I wrote, haha, heck no. I feel like I'm always trying to keep it together, and I feel that's the same for everyone. Nobody has it together. I try really hard because I'm a perfectionist, I'm OCD, but I definitely don't. But my schedule, it's weird. Like, it transformed completely, but it also didn't at the same time. I just started utilizing my time more wisely, and I made sleep sacrifices. And Gabby can tell you, because I wouldn't get on team calls before because I was so hell-bent on being on my couch asleep by 8 or 8:30. I kid you not, kid you not. I would take a melatonin at 6:45. I got up early for work. Like, I'm the type of girl that needs sleep. If I'm still a grandma, I still make sure that I'm in my bed at 10 o'clock every single night instead of 8 or 8:30. And then I just start getting up earlier too. So yes, I'm getting less sleep, but that is also why we have Energize. And I now drink it twice a day.
I love it. I love it. Yeah. And it's true. Like, some days it's just like, sacrifice, like whatever. But you make up for it on the weekends if you can, or like on other days that are like, okay, I worked really hard yesterday. I'm going to just take a breather. We actually did that, Tuesday, when we were like, we were going to
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
and we both said to each other, we were like, you know what? Let's give our brains a rest. And like, that's another thing, you guys. If you're feeling super burnt out, take a moment and give your brain a rest. Okay? Get a notebook out and write a brain dump. So helpful, right? Brain dump at the top and write down all the things. Just scribble scrabble, right? Brain dump, right? Close it, go to bed, relax, wake up early in the morning and get it done, okay? Sometimes you really just need to clock out, because if you're working on burnt out energy, your intention on your business is not going to be good, right? Okay? So, yes. Yes.
We can skip the next one since I kind of already talked about it.
Okay. Which one? Do you plan your post? Okay.
Yeah, I think about it like throughout the day.
Okay, yeah. What is your niche and how do you add value to those people? Because we actually just talked about this today. Chelsea and I have a completely different niche, because I was like, if this was my post, I would say, fuck this shit.
And you'll find I don't curse on Instagram. Like I'll say like ass and things like that, but I won't drop the F-bomb. But I feel like your niche is constantly changing in your phases through life. Real quick, does this kick us off at 9?
No.
Okay. But I feel like I struggle with my niche sometimes, and I started Beachbody again because when I moved down here to Virginia, it was a really, really big transition in my life. I wasn't performing anymore, and that was a huge part of my identity. So I didn't really know who I was, and I had to find that. I'm not married. I'm not engaged yet, and I can say that because Eric's not home. Still freaking waiting on a ring. And I want that so I can add that to my niche so I can connect to more people about being freaking engaged. I don't have kids. I don't have a dog. So right now my niche is being a girlfriend and couples that live together. I still can connect to dancers and people in musical theater because that was my life. Even though I don't do it anymore, I can still connect them. I get that lifestyle. My niche is wine and champagne lovers. I'm going to start expanding that and embracing it more because I have a new love for champagne. And even though I don't have one, I will have a golden retriever one day, and Grey's Anatomy. So that's kind of the niche I'm sticking to right now. And not going to lie, it's hard because Gabby, her niche is like being divorced. And there's a lot of posts that you can look up, like hashtag divorced AF or divorced. Like there's so many things that you can, like, what am I going to Google? Hashtag being a girlfriend. Like it's like my niche is hard. I'm not going to lie, but it
Hashtag still waiting on a ring. I'm just
still waiting on a ring. Oh my God. Yeah.
I dare you. I'm just kidding. Eric would
But it's made it more fun. And I feel like I'm going to find people who are maybe a young couple and will be getting engaged around the same time or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, I struggle with my niche, but it's coming around.
Yeah, if you guys follow or listen to Angie Lee, she is the niche like marketing expert. So if you're struggling with your niche and figuring it out, listen to her podcast on finding your niche. Your niche is the people that you connect with. So of course, like she said, like I connect with women that are divorced or relationship struggle or like dating and, you know, just getting yourself out there. I do a lot on confidence and mindset because you guys see me, like I'm always like, don't give a fuck. Like I will post how I want. And I'm also, like she said, like she doesn't curse. I do because that's my personality. Don't try and be like me. Don't try and be like, oh fuck. Like, I don't know. Like if it's not your word, it's not your word. Like, you know,
trust me, I say it, just not me.
Yeah, she does. And when she does, I'm like, who are you? That is so weird. She said it when we were in Indianapolis, and I think she like snapped at me. She's like, what the fuck? And I'm like, what? Yeah, it was something like that. I don't know. I was like, whoa, this is weird. So okay, last question, then we're gonna go into one more like ending question. But what advice would you give to the coaches who are struggling, can't find time to stay consistent, and constantly making excuses and putting out negative energy? Because we saw this in a post. I'm not gonna call anyone out, but we were talking about this, and it's like, why? Like you're putting that negative energy into your business when you should be saying positive things and just saying like, I am really good at inviting. Okay, so yeah, what advice would you give?
So the first thing that came to my mind was Nike and their slogan, which is just do it. There's literally no reason for excuses. And if you're trying to find a reason, that's also an excuse. So they're really just, unless you don't want to do it, that's the only reason for an excuse. If you're trying to find a reason to not do it, which is fine, just don't do it or own up to not wanting to do it. You can just be here as a hobby coach, like Gabby said. I was telling Amanda how to hop off, but I was telling her that I just jumped all in, and that was the only way I knew if I wanted to do it. So my advice would be to give yourself 2 weeks of full committed work and see how you feel after that. Because I felt different after like 3 days. So commit to just 2 weeks and make it exciting. Like, what jump started this for me is I literally created a little desk area for myself. I put it together, I cleaned it out, do something that's gonna excite you. I wasn't excited to come home and like sit on my couch. I'm excited that I have a desk that I sit at every single morning, or a desk that I can do my calls from, and I look like really professional, and this chair behind me. Like, just do something that's gonna make it exciting and not feel like you are going to work. So that's my 2 things of advice. Jump in, fully committed, 2 weeks, no excuses for anything, and make it exciting.
Yeah. I also think that was the best text ever when she was like, I created a workspace, because that was when I was like, whoa, like she's about it. Because not for nothing, you guys hear me talk about it all the time. I went from a 2-bedroom, 2-bath apartment that was absolutely beautiful, and I was obsessed with it. I had so much room. I had another office to work out in, to a bedroom, okay? And so there are 0 excuses. I'm literally sitting like right here in this mid corner, okay? So there's literally no excuse.
I'm gonna move my computer for a second.
Yeah.
I don't have an office. I have a 1-bedroom apartment. That's
Yeah.
my 700 square foot apartment, and I'm literally just like in the corner.
Making
like,
room.
A little pocket right there.
Okay.
You can make it cute. You can make it cute in a little corner too. Like, this is my corner now. Sorry, Eric.
My corner. Steve Jobs, I think that's who it was. There's so many CEOs and like very, very, very successful people that will tell you that they started their business at the kitchen table, or on the couch, or in their garage. Like, you don't need some fancy space. And I think that was really hard for me, because I went from a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, and like having like a workout area in my office, and to now having to be like, Gabby, you don't need that to run a business. Like, you have everything you need. You have a phone, you have a computer, you have yourself, and you have ambition, and you have passion. That is literally all you need. But I do recommend finding a little space or area in your house. Like I said, you guys, this desk is so freaking tiny. I wish I could show you. You don't need all the space in the world, okay? Half the time I'm working right there, okay? But having intentional time to work your business and sitting down and with no distractions is really what's going to push your business. Okay, last one, and then we'll hop off. Is that the one about Eric and your happiness?
Yeah.
Okay. Am I asking you?
Yeah, I mean.
So basically, is that your why? Is that what we're going into, basically?
Yeah, I mean, because it always like ties into that.
Yeah. So I like to kind of end these Q&As and kind of like tie in like, what's your why? Like, why do you want this business? Like, obviously we know what changed for you, but like, what is your why, and what are your intentions with it? What are your long-term goals with this? Because that's also super important, because your long-term goals is going to determine how you work today and how you work tomorrow and your future self, right? So go for it.
So my long-term goals have always been the same. My goal is to be able to stay at home with kids, but yet be a stay-at-home mom that's financially independent. I don't want to have to rely on my husband to support me while I'm at home. That's always been the goal for me. But what really made it stick, and I cried the other day when I was telling Gabby about this, but I'll try not to cry today. Things are like really going south at work again. And I was going through a really hard time at work before, and it got really good. And now it's getting bad again. And I was in the car with Eric, and I was talking to him about it. And I said, no, I really don't want to be going down this negative slump again at work. I don't want to be that person. And I was just very negative. And he's like, his and I relationship aside, he's like, I feel like the only thing that has been making you happy recently is Beachbody. And clicked like in that moment because I knew that he was right. I'm excited to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning and to have time to myself. I go to work and all I'm thinking about is how I want to work my business and things what content I want to bring and what people I want to talk to. I look like that. Like I can't fall asleep at night. Like the girl who used to go to bed at 8:30. Like I can't shut my brain off at 10 o'clock at night because this is like all that I'm thinking about now. And the one person who was kind of skeptical at first, like sees my happiness in it and like supports me and like saw a change like in 2 weeks. Like it's crazy. Like it's crazy.
I love you. I love you. And you guys, it's like, it's so true because I remember, not too long ago, she had texted me, and I'm only saying this because Eric's not around, but she had texted me and she was like, oh, I just, like, I hope you don't mind that I'm sharing this, but it's so true. Like we have people who are so skeptical, and
we fought about it all the time.
yeah, like he was super skeptical, but she was so passionate, and I just knew that that was kind of what's holding her back. And so, if you have people in your life that are skeptical, you have to have that conversation with them. You have to say like, hey, like I totally get it. Like I was skeptical before I joined, but this is what truly makes me happy. This is like something that I really enjoy with my life. And if this is like something like I want to get through this with you, I want to make sure that, like you understand where I'm coming from and understand my business. Maybe I can sit down with you and show you exactly what I do. Maybe you just think that I'm like posting on Instagram every day and like having fun, right? But it's so true. And
it's sad to say, but and this happens a lot with your significant others. I don't think he got it until one of my month's paycheck with Beachbody like paid for our cable bill. And then that kind of like was the trigger for him. And now it's not so much about his money. It's more like my happiness, which is good. But
yeah, I mean, it's so true. It's really about your happiness. And I told Chelsea, like, and I want to tell this to you guys too. If this is something that you want to do and you see yourself 5 years from now being an elite coach and running this business full time and having a successful business, making 6 figures, what does that look like for you? What do your hours in your day look like? Chelsea said it only takes 2 to 3 hours. That's pretty much all the time that I put in. When you feel burnt out, clock out. When you feel the fire in your belly, clock in, right? And just go for it. Like, what do you have to lose, right? Like, and if you guys there, I think you can possibly still get added into the 1% group and catch up on the lives. I don't really know. Maybe just add yourself and see if you get accepted. But I know it's changed for a lot of girls on here. You can write in the chat box if it's changed your mindset. But that's why I wanted to bring Chelsea on here, because I, like so many other coaches, don't allow people to guest speak on their calls unless they're a certain rank. And I just don't believe that, because I believe like I want to bring girls on here who aren't like, who cares about rank, right? I want you guys to relate to people that are on the same level as you and how we're going to the same level together, right? So if you guys agree with that, let me know. But thank you so much, Chelsea. I hope this was helpful hearing from her, and just wanting to level up, and no excuses. We wake up at 4:40 in the morning. If you want to be a part of that no snooze crew, then let us know, because we're always on. It's my Zoom in the morning. You guys already know my Zoom. So we're on at 4:30, usually between like 4:35-ish in the morning, Eastern Standard Time. So if you are Eastern Standard Time and you want to hop on, feel free. If you don't see us on yet, that's totally fine. We're always on at least like between that time. So just wait for us, do your morning routine. We'll hop on. Yeah. So thank you so much. Does anyone have any questions for Chelsea before we hop off? If not, totally cool. Just want to double check. No? Okay.
I probably answered all the questions.
Yeah, I know. It's okay. Okay. Thank you, guys. Thanks for watching the recording. If you're watching the recording, and go to work. Thanks, guys, for watching. And thank you, Chelsea.
Thanks.